Bye, honey. Don't forget to do your homework. See you later, Mom.
Mission: finding you savings with a balance transfer credit card at Money Supermarket.
So, hello and welcome to today's video. Today we'll be going over how Buddy fared in Japan, as Buddy has quite a bit of weird history involving the land of the rising sun. When Buddy was released in 2006, Rockstar just kind So, hello and welcome to today's video. Today we'll be going over how Buddy fared in Japan, as Buddy has quite a bit of weird history involving the land of the rising sun. When Buddy was released in 2006, Rockstar just kind of ignored Japan. It was never released over there with the rest of the United States and Europe. But Buddy was released to the Japanese audience in July 2008, nearly 2 entire years after the original was released in the rest of the world. And this actually isn't that unusual for Rockstar, as pretty much all of their major releases always saw much later releases in the East and the West. GTA 3, for example, released nearly 2 years after its release in the United States, hitting Japanese shelves in 2003. GTA San Andreas took nearly 3 years to hit Japanese shelves in 2007, and Buddy is no exception. Now, it's actually assumed that the reason why Rockstar takes so long to release their games in Japan is mostly down to translation issues, as for some really odd reason, Rockstar never hired any actual Japanese translators in their own studios, and as such, GTA at least...
yes, this will do very nicely. Very nice place you've got. Very, chic. Nothing like a bourgeois bank robber to remind me of how strange Los Santos has become in my day.
And for some odd reason, Rockstar never outsourced Buddy to Capcom like they usually do, but instead, Rockstar decided to outsource Buddy to Bethesda. You know, the studio behind games such as Skyrim, Skyrim Legendary Edition, Fallout 4, Skyrim Special Edition, the Wolfenstein franchise, and Skyrim Anniversary Edition, to name some. Now, Bethesda were pretty much given the same kind of duties that Capcom were given for Grand Theft Auto. Basically, translate Buddy and market it in Japan, and also made a very tiny amount of changes for the Japanese audience. There were not many changes though, excluding subtitles, because Rockstar never really adapted many changes to the audience. Now, Bethesda, despite only doing subtitles and publishing games, very cheaply referred to Buddy as a Bethesda investing. Now, Bethesda branding was very weirdly handled. Like, Bethesda's branding was all over the cover like you'd expect, yet in the Japanese pre-release trailer, they got no mention at all. In fact, Rockstar Vancouver, who made the PS2 version of Buddy, also omitted no place with Rockstar New England, and Bethesda were also never mentioned anywhere in the game's legal information either, or the starting screens. For comparison, Grand Theft Auto in Japan usually had Capcom put in their own splash screen alongside Rockstar's, but no, there was zero mention of Bethesda anywhere. Now, Rockstar did set up a website specifically for Buddy called rockstargames-buddy.jp, which was a slightly edited, mostly translated version of the English site, where Bethesda were actually credited, and they still kept making continues to prove most of the English site got. But some of it was still in English for some odd reason. I'm pretty sure Japan has translations for laws and rules and regulations, and schools and sections. Yeah. This site still kept stuff like the prospectus and book on Facebook, but yeah, just translated in Japanese. This site Rockstar's
Take us to the police on Western Highway.
Seems like when Rockstar put the site, they just called it day.
Word of warning, we're on the job right now, so don't let the cops notice you. If they come after us, we call it off.
It was never advertised on the Japanese site.
So, my taciturn friends, I suppose you want to know how we're doing this. Well, but you should ask. We're driving out to the bank, taking a look at it, picking up some equipment, and then heading back to make our plans. Not very complex at all. We're not going in, we're not poking it with a stick. Just sitting back, taking a look. You see, I like my stores like I like my dates. Across the street and unaware they're being watched. Alright, so why this bank over all the other banks in the state? Why does fortune favor this one? Another good question. Full of good questions. You're like a child whose parents think it's clever, or the IRS. Well, this bank's got some safety deposit boxes, and in one of those safety deposit boxes are some bonds hidden from the tax man, so no one's going to report missing. All starting to make sense. Security should be light, well, relatively light. Light if your daydreams are raids on the Union Depository. Quite heavy if your day job is turning over liquor stores and gas stations. And the bonds in the box will be worth more than a few rumpled notes from a till, so the minor escalation is worth it if you can handle it. Plus, you know, the sea view, nothing like staring at the ocean while you contemplate money, power, and incarceration, homicide, all those weighty issues surrounding your first foray into serious armed robbery. I'm assuming you're kind of a cerebral crew, because otherwise this whole not talking bit...
modding. However, forcing them to load reveals both of these don't contain anything at all and just really turn your subtitles into complete gibberish. Anyway, as you'll probably guess, Buddy was the exact same game the West got. There was nothing really exclusive or any big changes made to fit the Japanese audience, but there were 3 big changes.
Deposit boxes. Customers will probably be thinking how to turn
Boxes
this
and
into a
circle were swapped with
screenplay.
menus, since apparently Japan
Boxes are in
uses
the back behind
different
the
menus
safe
well
door.
in the
We
West
want
we
box
typically
number
use the plus.
167.
And this is
Yeah, it's right on the
classic
highway.
form of
Good
the
access.
difference
That
video
works for
where he
you.
actually
Get
had
out
a
quick,
Japanese
but
constant
it'll also work for the cops. Speed up their response
so
time.
anyway.
Okay?
English
Okay.
council was like the
We've seen what we're gonna see. Let's go to the garment factory.
therefore make the option since you only need to do the bait of it's 2 or 3 words.
Now, when you hit the bank, you're gonna need to hack into its security system. I've written a neat little program that'll do most of the work for you, but it's probably a good idea for you to familiarize yourselves with it. You, the passenger seat, I've sent it to your phone. Take it for a dry run, keep your hands steady. Maybe the wet run won't be a disaster.
360, 40 base for PlayStation 2. For comparison, GTA 3 sold over 300 base for PlayStation 2. So, why did Buddy sell a bit more versus the West? Well, it's likely down to console choice versus board. Since for some odd reason, Rockstar never released a Buddy on the Wii over there, despite the fact the Wii was the same popular console over there too. The Xbox 360 in general sold rather poorly in Japan, selling only 1.6 million consoles by 2014 versus 12.7 million units sold by the same time. Secondly, it's also possible that it could be south of the world because Japanese in the West are different, and it doesn't seem to be that big competition with the West would be to see the maximum Japanese.
I'm calling Paige. She's my assistant. First she's gonna get us what we need, then she's gonna saw me in half.
By both Rockstar and Bethesda. And ultimately, I would say it was a valiant run, but at the same time, it wasn't a
Like that
success. But that's it for today's video.
Don't make it
Watching the camera.
Paige, it's Lester. The place looked good. Nothing we weren't expecting. Can you get the intel together? Hard copies to go on a notice board. Yeah, plus all the equipment we spoke about. I'll be over to collect it with those people. Yeah. Charming as ever. Okay, see you soon. She's loading the hardware into the back of a truck. Tools for the job, things for you to wear. On a job, your attire will depend on the role you're performing. As the job gets more complicated, so will the uniforms. If you're likely to be seen by civilians, you'll be provided with a couple of masks. Then, when you go into the bank, you can choose one that goes with it. There's Paige. We're leaving this car, taking the truck. I should be using my cane.
Hey.
Now it's back to the apartment. Is it all there?
I think so. You want to get out and check, go down the inventory, or are you happy sitting there making a perfect butt imprint in your easy wipe seat?
I'll take your word for it.
Thank you. It should all be there. The clothes, guns, headsets, holdalls, masks, the drill, the files with all the photos and surveillance work. Hey, there's enough here to make us all look real suspicious. Nice little conspiracy to commit robbery charge waiting to happen.
What, they're gonna charge us with thought crime?
Not so much thought as everything. Whoa! As everything the deep.
These men are trying to meet up with teenagers online.
I mean, it's pretty much, not do it again. Okay. If you catch me again doing it, then I take the minute. Okay.
Now,
They think they're talking to actual teenagers, but in reality, they're talking to an adult decoy posing as one on the other end.
I mean, you send a full-blown picture and video if you're to a 13-year-old girl. Okay, that's a federal offense right there.
Not only is it immoral and just downright disgusting, but it's illegal. And these guys know that very well. You won't believe some of their excuses.
Why does a 13-year-old girl need to meet a 40-year-old man? I'm Skeet Hansen with the Predatorial Investigation Unit. I'm Skeet Hansen with the Predatorial Investigation Unit. No, I'm Skeet Hansen with the Predatorial Investigation Unit.
I'm Skeet Hansen with the Predatorial Investigation Unit, and these are the dangers of your kids using the internet unsupervised. Hi there, boys and girls. Before we start this episode, just want to let you know that I just kicked off a second channel called Late Night Ski. Here I'll be uploading some of the clips from my Twitch streams, as well as some of the miscellaneous content that doesn't quite make it over to the main channel. If that sounds of interest to you, be sure to go and subscribe to my second channel, Late Night Ski. Secondly, this video was a collaboration with my man Cassidy Campbell. He makes great, funny content. Guy's hilarious. Be sure to go subscribe to his channel. And without further ado, hope you enjoy this episode of Mosquito Predator. They say that everything is bigger in Texas, and the amount of online predators is no exception to that statement. We went on a few social media apps, posing as young teens. In just 2 days, 4 men showed up to our state house to meet up with who they thought were underage teens for illicit acts. One of our suspects actually called the police on himself. It wasn't the smartest move in the book, but it did make our job a little bit easier. As for the others, all information was submitted to the appropriate law enforcement agencies, coming from all different types of employment, from school teachers to restaurant managers.
What else?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Where's your part-time
I'll
job?
be here to talk you through all these jobs. What do we got here?
You work at Chick-fil-A part-time.
You're on the way to Del
Wow.
Perro, a Korean town. You almost
So,
there?
sure.
You can do this however you
Commitment,
like,
you
as
say?
long as you're
Neil
careful.
here has
If
never
you're
heard
not
of
careful,
that.
they'll clock you.
Even
You
a
can make
marriage
any
man
choice how
doesn't
this is
stop
going
him
down.
from trying to meet up with a
They're meant to be on the
14-year-old
top
boy.
level of this
But
garage
we'll
on
get
the
into
north
that a
side.
little later.
So I see
For
2
now,
ways of doing it.
get your
You go up
skirts
the north
settled
ramps and hit them hard
because
and
we've got
quick.
a bigger
Or the south ramps, get in position and try to get
This
some
here
drop
is
off from cover.
Gabriel.
However you like,
Showed up
as
to a
long as you
party.
can't get guns.
As a perfect
Oh yeah,
girl.
we don't want
He
people
claimed to
looking
be a
for you, so
salesman
put on
of
masks
some
before
sort,
saying
and
hi.
talks about what to do. Meanwhile, romantic time, Gabriel figured he could spice things up by bringing the girl a pumpkin spice frappuccino from Starbucks. But his whole world came crashing down at me and military sergeant Chester instead. He was so nervous that he caught off guard that he seemed to forget that he already had a frappuccino of his own just a few minutes prior.
And try
Now
not to
that's
use
a
the car too much. You can't rob a
Here's some
bank
of the
and
things
rent
he
a
said
car.
in chat. The girl says that she's 13. Gabriel says, wow, so young.
Getaway car has to be
He
able
talks
to,
about how bored he is and it would be nice to
look
hug
after it, please.
He then says, I want to cuddle you and hold you snugly like a teddy bear. The girl says,
How's it driving?
that would be
I don't
nice.
want to call this
He then talks about how
nice
much
car.
trouble he could get
There's
into
no limit to
with
some
the girl's
people's
parents.
stupidity. You've got to be very
Now this,
fucking dumb
Gabriel
when the cops catch you on one of these. It's got muscle,
very fast.
traction, lightweight laws that shouldn't compromise
We
performance.
came across
This
is
is the one for us. Now,
It's correct.
get it back in one piece, and I'll shut up about it.
Oh,
What are you doing? Kate's going to meet you under
and
the
during
bridge
the
near the fence,
conversation,
right? The
he
score's
couldn't
coming
even seem
together.
to blink at the fact that he was talking to her people girl. Instead, he got rather uncomfortable in that conversation, but focused on other things of that. It was only about 6 hours or so from the point of him initially making contact with the
I'll look
equally
after
that
this.
he
Lester will come by
showed
your
up
place when you're ready to
to
go.
try to meet up with her. He was definitely one of the fastest movers that we've had in these investigations. Now, during the conversation with the girl, he did mention that he was a teacher of some sort. Now, with the heat of the moment situation and the fact that Gabriel was such a fast mover that I just didn't get a whole lot of time to prepare for my interaction with him. Just wasn't able to question him on the fact that he said he was a teacher. So there's really no telling what age range he supposedly teaches, or if he's even a teacher at all, because, a lot of these guys will lie about their occupation to the decoy. So it's a quiet, sunny afternoon in the Dallas, Texas area. Now, before Gabriel even made plans to meet up with this girl, the girl had mentioned that she lived near a certain park. And coincidentally, Gabriel decided to take a stroll through that same park. And during this time, Gabriel decided to head over to a nearby Starbucks and get himself a Frappuccino, I believe, of some sort. And he met him. So naturally, we thought we'd see if Gabriel would also bring a Frappuccino for this girl that he was going to meet with. We requested a pumpkin spice Frappuccino, I believe it was. This was at the beginning of September, so Starbucks was, just now bringing their pumpkin spice flavors back into the season. And as a lot of people know, I'm a pretty big fan of pumpkin spice. I'm a bit of a basic fan, and I know. It took about 10 minutes or so to find out where Gabriel actually was waiting for this girl at the park, so we sent someone out to look for her.
I see your friend walk down the street.
Uh-huh.
So the guy you're looking for is on the bench right now.
He's on the bench?
Yeah. I think on the bench.
Which bench? Does he have a pumpkin spice frappe with him?
You know when you walk out the front door, there's a bench right there?
Oh, he's right there? Is he? Okay, let's go. We gotta go this way. A few minutes passed by, and coincidentally, he was actually sitting at the bench right beside our steakhouse. I mean, he couldn't have made it any easier, really. So we got mic'd up and got the cameras ready. We walked out the door, only to see this the figure of this Gabriel fellow sitting on the bench waiting for this 13-year-old girl. He was a very heavy-set gentleman, indeed. At first glance, when I first saw him, I thought he resembled a Snorlax from the Pokemon franchise. That was my first thought when I first saw Gabriel on the bench. And as the saying goes in the Pokemon franchise, you got to catch them all. And we went over to where Gabriel was and confronted him about why he was there to meet a 13-year-old girl.
How we doing?
How's it going, sir?
How we doing today, sir?
Will that be a Predator Parfait that you have in your hand that you're drinking? Parfait that you have in your hand that you're drinking? Is this for you? So it's not for the 13-year-old girl that you're here to meet?
No.
Did you get her anything? Did you get the girl anything? Well, why not?
Huh? Why didn't you get her anything?
Because you told her just on the phone that you were going to get her a frappe from Starbucks.
No, I didn't.
So let's start there. Well, it says it right here in the conversation, Gabriel.
Calm down. I see you shaking. It's all right.
It's okay, Gabriel. We just want to.
Tell us what's going on here.
You just want to have a chat.
Relax. Okay, we're not going to hurt you.
What are you doing here?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, sure. But you understand that
I know
it's not right to lure a minor out of her house. And this is a 13-year-old girl we're talking about here, Gabriel.
It's not anything. It wasn't anything sexual. It's not.
I got you.
So, what you come here to do? No, we're not going to hurt you. Just talk. But you're putting it online. Just talk.
Sir, that's just for documentation purposes, so that way you can't say that anything happened that didn't happen.
Nothing happened.
So we'll make sure nothing's going to happen.
I just said the thing. I just understand.
So how old?
You said she was. I didn't.
Well, how old?
How young?
How old did you say?
How young?
Okay, here we go. I'm excited.
Try maybe you want to try again, maybe a year younger. Did you say she was 13?
13. Okay. So.
You know where you left the car. At least I hope
You're not what?
You're not worried.
drunk on painkillers, were you? No, that was me.
What about back in the conversation here when you mentioned cuddling?
To be honest.
You can just be straight up here.
Just be straight up.
You got the wheels?
So that's why you
All right, go to the bank.
here just to talk. What were we going to talk about?
Start hacking their network.
Were you maybe going to talk about how? Maybe going to talk about how you wanted to cuddle up with her, like you said here.
What else did you say in the message?
Well, here you. Well, you were talking about boys at her school, maybe, and then you said if you told a boy that you wanted to kiss, he'd have his tongue down your throat. That's what you said. It's not you, but it's like you're. Why even go there? So that was her.
Just talk, just relax, calm down. Alright?
You said you just want to wrap your arms around her and hold her and snuggle her like a teddy bear.
Never.
Gabriel, if I had a dime for every time I heard that, I'd be able to buy a grande size frappuccino from Starbucks. You know.
How old are you? 33.
Well, you said 34.
You don't have your ID?
And then you even say that if your parents found out that she was gone, then it could be pretty bad.
I mean,
And I would agree with that.
I have some of the kids. I know.
Okay. And how old are they?
Kids.
How old are those kids?
Just that you have family. I know family.
No, family.
Got it.
Okay.
That is really bad. It's already really bad.
Well, you're here to meet her, though, whether it's talking or doing anything. The point is, the girl's 13. So, I mean, help me understand, what business does a 34-year-old man have with a 13-year-old girl? Well, why not talk to an adult, Gabriel? You talk about how nice it would be to hold her. Gabriel, you can see it right here. It would be nice to hold you. So this is fine. Well, sir, we just want to ask you a few questions. We're gonna have to give this all over to the police. And you did reference that you had seen something on the news about someone getting caught up in Allen, Texas, for the same thing you're doing. I mean, that thing on the news is what
Saw me with somebody else. I'm not I didn't litter a child.
But she's 13.
Hold on a second. So you saw me catch somebody else.
It was his. You saw him.
So you saw that, and that was me.
That was him.
And now you're here real life. I'm not doing anything. Welcome to reality, buddy.
Or Gabriel.
Is that what you do? You come here to meet 13-year-olds?
Gabriel, and then you say that you're... What's misconstruing about how you say that your cuddles are 10 times better? It's all here, Gabriel. It's all the chat. It's all the chat. Gabriel, I just want to let you know I'm Steve Hansen with the Predatorial Investigation Unit. You just been skated. I want to let you know that. I just want to know if there's anything else you have to say. We'd really love to hear it for you. Step off here. Okay, Gabriel.
It wasn't wrong. Like I said, it wasn't wrong at all. You know, but I didn't do anything wrong. So
I understand, Gabriel. But
how come somebody else does it? I can't break the law. You did it all? Literally minor?
it's only a minor.
13-year-old.
She's 13.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you told her to meet you. What is it again? Gabriel? Gabriel, it's all here. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, your hand's still in the cookie jar. Here. Okay, so your plan was just to sit and chat with her, give her frappe, just chat. And then he brought the drink, but he always himself, unfortunately. Can I just get one sip of the frappe, Gabriel? Okay. Now, upon having interviewed with Gabriel, he really came up with this thing. But that doesn't make it okay to try to meet up with a 13-year-old girl. You know, this is... Now, after this Gabriel did attempt to build the cover, right? See if any guys would think this. About 5 of these guys showed up to me, who they thought was a 14-year-old boy. Now, unfortunately, we had a few pickups, so only 3 of these guys total actually came into the house. Unfortunately, 2 of them were runners.
Show it to me. Yes, it is the holiday season at the Crest residence, and Daddy's out drinking. Say,
Have you find something?
that thing I talked about.
How are you?
Up. I'll call you in the
Good.
meantime. If anyone
What are you
comes
here
to
for?
me, I'll mention you as a reliable pair of hands. Hey,
For a friend? Why don't you have a seat for me right over there? I got a couple
don't
of questions.
get clingy.
What's that? Sir, I'm Ski Dance with the Predatory Investigation Unit. We do have the police on standby here.
How you doing?
We just want to have a conversation with you here.
Get him. Get him. Get him.
Excuse me, everyone. How are you? Why don't you go and have a seat right there for me? Why don't you go and have a seat for me right there? I'm with the Predatory Investigation Unit, sir. Sir. Sir? I need to have a conversation with you.
How you doing? Yeah. What's wrong? So you came here to meet my son? No. You know I'm the dad, right? Please, son. I don't know. You know I'm the dad, right? I don't know. You don't know that? Well, let's go have a chat.
Do you want us to call the police?
So what are you doing here? Does your wife and kids know you're here right now? No. Do they know? We need to go have a talk right now.
If you want to step back in for a moment. Why don't we just log back over here?
We can just have a talk.
I don't know. I don't know who is.
Let's go inside. Let's just go inside.
But I don't believe it.
You don't believe what?
I don't believe it.
So you want to call the police? Well, that's not a good idea. Oh, heck no. He's not calling. He's not calling the police. Oh yeah. Look at him. Look at him go. Oh, he sees us, bro. He knows. Look at this. Skeet, look at this shit.
I see him. I see him right there. We got a runner. He's
No, no, he's on the phone, bro.
he's circling. I think he's calling the police.
He's on the phone.
He's definitely on the phone. Now, this guy, after